Hey gang, I want to talk about upgrades for Aaron Hicks now. We talked about Josh Donaldson a couple days ago. Now we're going to go view a couple of internal and a couple of external upgrades over Aaron Hicks, who, kind of like Donaldson, has kind of wore out his welcome in New York at the same time of significantly losing his skill set too, which is an unfortunate thing. So if the Yankees move either one of these or both of them, they're going to have to attach a prospect or a couple of prospects and eat a chunk of the contract. So I would expect 50% of the contract, no less. And so we'll see what the Yankees do, but it sounds like they're motivated to move both of them. But before I do that, a couple of pieces of news. Carlos Rodon has opted out, so he's officially a free agent now. And the Houston Astros actually the owner nixed the trade at the trade deadline. They were going to require Wilson Contreras at the trade deadline in exchange in a 1-for-1 swap for Jose Urquidy, who's one of their starters. He would have gone to Chicago, and the owner nixed that trade. And it doesn't really look like it matters anyway because they won the World Series, and Wilson Contreras is going to be in high demand this offseason. So with that, let's pivot over to this. And one last thing. Tomorrow night, we're going to be doing our MLB free agent predictions. It's going to be myself and 3 other channels. So you're going to get predictions from 4 channels at the same time. It's going to be a live stream, so you can chime in, give us your predictions, your feedback, your comments, all of you. So you're all welcome to join. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take a look at the link on the channel. It's already set up, so be sure to, if you're not subscribed, be sure to do that, please, so you don't miss stuff like this and any other content that comes out this offseason, because it's going to be crazy. And if you are subscribed, please hit the notification bell if you haven't yet. That way you know exactly when it's about to start, so you can hop in if you want to do that for a little while. And that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 4 channels. You're going to get a whole bunch of good stuff. It's going to be a nice round table. We're going to go over it, and you'll see some pretty cool stuff. So I hope to see you all there. I really do. Now, let's get into this. Let's talk about internal options first. Number 1 to me is Oswaldo Cabrera. He was called up. He's had some experience now with the Yankees. He was a pretty significant offensive stud, even a stolen base guy in AAA. He's brought some of that up to the major leagues. He's had an abbreviated playing time here, but he's gotten opportunities, more so than Oswald Peraza, who I think will get more in next year. But he went batted .247 with 6 home runs, 21 runs scored, 19 RBIs, and .312 on-base percentage. Plays some solid defense. One of the things I did notice that he plays better in the outfield. He hits better when he's playing the outfield as opposed to hitting when he's playing the infield. So something I just noticed, I don't know, and he's got a very accurate throwing arm from the outfield. So he's a guy that I think would represent an upgrade over Hicks internally. As well as Everson Pereira. He's the Yankees' number 5 prospect. He's in AA right now. He's also rocketing up the system. He batted .277 this past year, .350 on-base percentage, .469 slugging, 14 home runs, 56 ribbies, and also 21 stolen bases. He also plays solid defense, and he's an aggressive hitter. Another contact hitter. And this is one of the things the Yankees need. We know this. The Yankees need more contact hitting and be less reliant on hitting for power at the expense of discipline and contact hitting. So hopefully that's an analytics change that they make. And there's a place for analytics, but not the type of analytics that the Yankees had last year, at least in my opinion. So now, internal option. And then lastly, at the major league level, Tim LeCastro. And again, he's not a sexy hitter. He doesn't have the power potential of an Aaron Hicks, but he plays excellent defense. He's one of the fastest guys in all of baseball. He's their best base runner. He's the guy they put in all the time for pinch running and defensive replacement too. And again, he has an knack for on occasional hitting the power, but he also plays great defense and has great routes running in the outfield. So he's a great bench player one way or another. So I hope to continue to see him around here. Now those are the internal guys. Let's go out now. Free agency. Brandon Nimmo of the New York Mets. Okay, he hits both sides. Now with the shift going in 2023, he's a guy that hits both sides of the field pretty well with a good solid contact. Okay, that can be taken advantage of with a hitter. Okay, with the shift going, that's a good thing. Okay, he went .274 this year, 16 home runs, 64 RBIs, and he hits both ways again. And he's had a little bit of injury issue recently, but he does have some power potential. He plays solid defense in the outfield, and he's a guy. He's probably gonna get a 4 or 5 year deal in free agency, as is the next guy, Andrew Benintendi. I expect him to get a 4 or 5 year deal too. Similar skill set to Nimmo, hits the ball to both sides of the field. I don't think his power potential is as significant as Nimmo's, but it doesn't really matter. He's an excellent base runner. He's an excellent route runner too in the outfield. He would be a perfect leadoff hitter for the Yankees. And again, when he was here, before he got hurt, he started to really come into his own. He's also got playoff experience too from Boston, so he's a gamer, and I like that about him. So hopefully he'll get an opportunity to come back here as well. He batted .304 this year. with getting injured. 5 homers, 54 runs, 51 ribbies, 373 on-base percentage. And again, hitting both fields with the shift going that could be a good thing for the Yankees particularly. So hopefully they take advantage of this if he comes back. And lastly is a guy that I've been talking about for a year, Mr. Brian Reynolds of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He could also be a perfect number 2 or number 3 hitter for the Yankees. Okay, he's a guy. He's a 3-WAR guy, but I'm not really obsessed with the WAR stuff. I mean, with Pittsburgh, I think his impact with the Yankees would be more significant than it is in Pittsburgh. So, 27 home runs, and he missed about a month this year. 62 ribbies, 74 runs, 262 batting average, 807 OPS. And again, he's a switch hitter. He also hits the ball all over the place, and he also has more power potential than I think both of the other guys, Nimmo and Benintendi. So he's a solid defender in the outfield, and he's got 3 more controllable years left. His arbitration years are coming up now, so he's not a free agent until 2026. So his salary won't be that high, but the cost for prospects would be significant. So he's a guy. I'd be willing to give up mostly anybody not named Anthony Volpe for. I would be happy. I would easily give up Jason Dominguez. Okay, he to me is the finished product of Dominguez. And if you don't give up Dominguez, you got to give up Herrera, one way or the other. And then other guys, Will Warren, a couple other prospects as well. You'd have to give up a healthy dose of prospects for him. But again, he's at a team Pittsburgh that's not really going anywhere. And if the Yankees are planning on life without Judge, these are the types of guys that they're going to need. Okay, and if I were them, I'm going after 2 of them. I'm going after Nimmo and Reynolds, or Benintendi and Reynolds, if they happen to let Judge walk. None of these guys replace Judge's offensive power output, but again, you're getting more contact hitting oriented, and especially if you get 2 guys over 1, that's a good thing too. Okay, and these are the 3 guys that represent obvious upgrades over Aaron Hicks, in my opinion. I would be happy with any of these guys. So, but you let me know what you think. Okay, give me your feedback. Is there anybody I'm missing? Put them in the comments down below. And these, I think, are the most realistic options, too. I think Brian Reynolds at some point is going to get moved, okay? And the other 2 guys are in free agency. None of these guys are going to be outlandish contracts or anything like that. But they are viable options for the New York Yankees, who need to address a lot of holes, okay? And like I said, you can't throw hitting at a pitching problem. You can't throw pitching at a hitting problem. And you can't just bring Judge back and wait until the end of the offseason while losing everybody else. The Yankees did not get better. You could bring Judge, Rizzo, and Benintendi back, and it still wouldn't be enough to beat the Astros. So the Yankees are going to have to be very aggressive, and they're going to have to act quickly, too, in some situations, so they're not overreacting with terrible moves, which they've been known to do recently. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you think. We're going to continue with stuff like this throughout the offseason, so we have a lot of stuff to get to. Hopefully I'll see you there tomorrow night for the MLB free agent predictions. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll talk to you next time.